Alright, greetings friends. Currently on the square table we have Warhammer Quest tiles. Warhammer Quest is a game that is discontinued by Games Workshop at the moment, and you can find files on the internet to make these tiles and build you a game. Usually you see people build tiles that are like this, with just one flat piece built on something strong like this foam core here and everything. But we are going to add a little dimension to our tiles. So let's get to it. Alright, what's going on everybody? This is a little craft video that I'm gonna do about Warhammer Quest. I think you've seen like one video. I have some more videos coming out, but I already released one video of me and my youngest son playing some Hero Quest, and I'm really getting into Warhammer Quest. I just kind of like that style of gameplay, especially when I'm just playing with family and everything. So the fun thing about Warhammer Quest is that it's a system that uses these tiles that you well, the original game came with cardboard cutouts, but like the cool thing about Warhammer Quest is that it is a out of print game that the gaming community is keeping alive, and I'm really just fascinated by games like this. Like, you know, there's games like Warhammer Quest and Mordheim and everything. It's just like there's a huge following of. There's even some old Star Wars games that are just out of print, but like people just keep playing them, and there are actually still like events going on and everything. I just think that's really cool that people keep these type of games alive. So if you surf the internet enough, you can find files in which you can build a whole gaming set for Warhammer Quest and everything. And right now I'm working on the dungeon tiles, and specifically the objective rooms. The objective rooms are a little bit bigger. The tiles, a lot of these tiles you lay out, and there's like some corridors and everything, like thin hallways and everything, but the objective rooms are bigger. And all I'm doing is I'm printing them on some I'm printing the images on some glossy photo paper, and then I'm gluing them to some foam core. And usually this is good enough right here. This is what people usually do. They usually get some sort of like thick cardboard or something, and they print and put it on there. I am taking things up to the next level. I thought it'd be really fun to add a little bit of dimension to these tile pieces. So like there's a raised area here where this gold dragon's sitting, and then you know, there's like a pit for this. This is the fire chasm room, and so there's actually, what I'm doing is like I'm taking the foam core and I'm just layering levels for it and everything, just add a little bit of dimension and everything. And I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with this room. I think what I'm going to do is have layer 0. 0 is what I'm calling the layer that's just like the standard piece. And then I'm going to add, there's some water, there's little channels of water around here. This room is called the Fountain of Light room. And I think I'm going to raise these two areas, so these little channels will have like a little indentation in, and then I'm going to try to actually cut out this fountain and have one more layer sitting on top of that. And also tonight I want to maybe build this room. What is this room called? I'm not versed enough in this game yet, but this is the idol chamber. So there's like a stone idol here with a little fire pit, and I'm going to build up one layer. I'm going to have layer 2 here just for the steps, and then the third layer will be the highest right here. I thought about actually cutting out, I mean, it'd be really hard to cut out the foam core and everything, but cut out the statue and everything, and maybe this fire this flaming fire pot, whatever it's called. But that might be a little intense, so I'm just gonna make this a level here, and I might find some kind of figure or something I could put on here. It'd be really, I wish I was a little bit better at doing 3D design, because I would actually just like build a figure and just set on here and a fire pot and everything, but I'm not, so we're going to keep it simple. So I'm not going to do a video of how I made the cards, but when you find a set online to print everything, there's a front and back to all these cards. The way the game works is that you're not supposed to know what is under this card, so you flip it and everything to kind of reveal what the next tile section is and everything. And some people go and they line everything up and they print something nice on front and back on a really nice cardstock or something and everything. I've just been using these plastic protective sleeves for like baseball cards and everything. You can get pretty cheap, and I just like cut a front and back, and I've just been sandwiching an old baseball card in there. It's good to have a brother-in-law who's really into baseball cards, and he gives me all the extras that he don't really care about and everything. And what would also work if you have a son that has a ton of Pokemon cards. I think they're the same size and everything, but that makes them feel kind of rigid and good and everything. So I'm going to go with that, and maybe one day I'll get these like nicely printed somewhere and everything. But as of now, I'm kind of having fun just doing that. All right. So what I need to do is the first layer I'm calling, this flat layer, I'm calling layer 0. And we need to trim this down a little bit. What in the world did I do with my scissors? We figured that out. Okay, I found them. They were under a pile of foam core. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to spray it using some 3M Super 770. Sorry, 3M Super 77. And then I'm going to glue it onto some foam core. I got this online. I'm pretty sure I got it from Amazon or something like that. If you buy it online, you can get it where the core of this foam core is also black. I'm just like using these black pieces and everything. You can find this in big sheets at like dollar stores and stuff. But usually when I find them there, the centerpiece is white and everything. So if I order online, I look for the ones that are automatically black and everything. And when I glue something on to these foam core sheets, sometimes there's a little bit of bend to them. You see there's sort of like an arch, and I treat it just like I do like a wood project where you put the crown facing up, so that way you can press down on it and everything. This does it a little bit, but you can barely tell. And by the time you put a figure on it and everything, I mean, it's not like it's gonna slide off or anything, but that's what I've been doing. So I just treat it like a wood project and have the crown facing up. Let's cut this down. I'm just going to trim it a little bit because I need to be able to X-Acto knife a really good edge around. So leave a little bit of white on so you can do a better trim later. Boom. So that's 2. Usually I can kind of fit 2 on one board, which looks like a wheel. So let me go shoot that with this glue, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I went ahead and glued a starter set for both the idle room and this fountain light room. And all we need to do is just kind of follow the edge with a ruler and cut this with a X-Acto knife. The cool thing about foam core is that it actually cuts like very easy and everything. So let's knock that out. Alright, so there is level 0. To build it up level 1, I like to sandwich this or laminate it together. I'm going to get rid of the black edge where it just has level 1. Alright, now for this, I'll just kind of layer that up like that. But first, well, it's kind of rough, but the cool thing about foam core, like, you know, it was not easy to cut all of this and everything, especially those rocky edges. But it just looks kind of like stonework, even if it's kind of rough and everything. So that just really doesn't bother me, especially if you use the black foam core and everything. It just looks kind of like rough stonework and everything. So I won't stress too much about it, but trying to make it super clean. But it's a good time to take a black magic marker or Sharpie, and let's get rid of this white line. Alright, so this up here. Let's cut this down a little bit. Alright, I'm going to freehand a little bit here. Just going to go around. Alright, that's layer 0. That's layer 1. It's already looking pretty good, and I'm doing a trashy job with these corners and stuff, but it still looks pretty good. Like I said, I don't want to worry too much about it being a little messy there. It just looks kind of like stonework and everything. It It's fine with me. Alright, I'm going to just glue this up off camera. I'll be right back. Alright, so I have these finished. That's a level 1, just a thick layer. And then I need to do level 2, then level 3. And this one is glued up. This one is glued up. So I have a level 0 and then a level 1, and I just want to try to attempt to cut out this fountain, stick it on there, but we will see. I might leave it as is, but like I said, we will see. Alright, so I totally had a scrap piece that I could fit the last couple of glue ups on. I'm gonna finish the idle chamber first because I have a pretty good feeling about that, and then I'll attempt to do this fountain. I'm kind of on the fence on that. We'll just see how it cuts and everything. But I need the steps, but I'm going to include all of this. That way it's all like one layer. Let's go ahead and just kind of it's not too bad. Alright, when I glue this up, it'll be the next layer, and then the final. Clean this up a little bit. Just like that. Man, it'd be really rad if I had some kind of figure sitting on there, but maybe I'll figure that out later. But that's still pretty cool. You can have people travel up the steps. Alright, let's go ahead and glue this up. Alright, so that finishes the idle chamber. Got a couple of levels here. It's not too bad. It's a little uneven around these edges, but I felt like it was more important to make it really even with this front here, and whatever happens, happens back here and stuff. But it's not too bad. It's still really fun. I did find a cheap X-Acto knife that I got from somewhere, and that's got a pretty fresh blade on it. So we're going to see what we can do with this. And I think it'd be a good idea to start. Alright. I'm going to try to cut out these corners first. Or inside corners. I mean, it's not bad for cutting things out with an X-Acto knife on foam core. Doesn't look cool as this, but you know, because this is supposed to be a rocky, rough shape, it's just really believable. But this is supposed to be a little bit more clean cut. I wish I could do one more level, but I definitely do not feel like trying to cut that out and everything. But trying to figure out which direction. Oh yeah, it goes like that. Still gonna look pretty cool. Let's get that glued up. I mean, it doesn't look bad. And some heroes in here. I like the fact you have to step over these little gaps and lets you know that you shouldn't be just jumping all up in the fountain and everything, unless you want to make that part of the story and everything. But yeah, pretty happy with them. So let's do a little bit of photo shoot, but I don't have any actual Warhammer Quest models that's down the road, even if I just find that STLs are kind of closely resemble the real thing and everything. But I'll find some stuff laying around the house and let's do like a quick, really cool photo shoot. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to check out Square Table Unit on other social media, such as Discord, Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. I appreciate everyone, and I'll see you guys on our next adventure.